Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, Soul Family? It's your brother Nani Thadizi, back with an evening edition. Yo, this one is gonna be about the tests that come in life when you're on the level up, when you're on the incline. Think about going to the gym, right? You know, I gotta always use an example. That's the best way that I learn, and I think it'll help a lot of you also with learning as well. Think about when you go to the gym, right? And you want to build a better physique. Maybe you want to build a better physique in a specific place, right? Specific body part, a specific area. So normally you're going to concentrate around that muscle in particular and the adjacent muscles. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, for instance, if you want to build bigger biceps, you know, you have multiple exercises that can be done that targets the bicep, that targets the tricep, that targets, you know, maybe your forearms as well. And that's overall going to build a bigger bicep, depending on, you know, how long you train for, your diet, you know, all of the inputs to get your required output. And so same thing with leveling up and the tests that come with leveling up. When you do a certain amount of exercises, you have eventually, your muscle is going to retain that specific memory of all of the actions that you've done, called muscle memory, you know, go figure. And so you have to switch up your routine. And in order to hit the next plateau, you don't necessarily know all of the steps that you have to take to go up another size in bicep, you know, maybe the circumference of the bicep, whatever, however you measure it, you don't know what you have to do. Same thing comes with the tests that the Most High is going to give you in order to get to the next level in whatever endeavor that you have. So you don't know how long it's going to take. You don't know how long the test is going to take. You don't know exactly if what you're doing is working necessarily. You don't 100% know that for sure. You know what I'm saying? And but the thing is, you have to keep striving and changing and observing how you feel and how you react on a frequent basis, right? In order to gauge how close you are to getting to that next or getting past that plateau. So the tests usually are going to come in the form of certain temptations. You know, they say when you kick certain habits, you know, whether that's habits like, you know, drinking alcohol, smoking, you know, cigarettes, or other habits, you know, that are detrimental, usually you're going to be tested in some form to engage in that specific activity, that bad habit again. And, pardon me, excuse me, boy, when that test happens, that's basically a training regimen, so to say. So you have to take it upon yourself to actually go through that exercise. And if you go through that exercise successfully, then think of that as another muscle that's being built. Maybe that's the adjacent muscle. Maybe you gained, you know, 5% mass in your bicep with that test you just passed. But then there'll be another one, and then another test, and then another test. And this is essentially like the chiseling effect that happens. So, like I said, you don't know how long that is going to take, and you don't necessarily know if the techniques that you're doing is getting you the result that you want. But you have to be almost like a scientist, a spiritual scientist almost, to a certain extent, right? Tweak this, you know, alter that, observe it, and keep on going. So anyway, I just wanted to drop this video real quick, you know, the tests that come when you're about to exceed a certain plateau, you're about to hit a specific point within this, you know, physio-spiritual realm that we call planet Earth. This is your brother, Nani Thadizi, over and out with a video. I hope each and every one of you are good, and I'll be back for some more. Peace out. One love.